Podcast number 89, maybe? I don't know. So, welcome to another edition of Monday's
Dude didn't roofie
Locker Room
this.
Talk. He might have roofied it.
What was this drink, by the way?
I believe it is a strawberry tea of some sort. And I think the guy said that he likes his lemonade in the tea, which is like a strawberry refresher. I think those are what those are called.
It's all coming back to me. All these coffee drinks come back to me.
You know you have the girliest drink in this table, right?
Dude, while we've been here, I've seen like 5 other people walk
Hey,
out
at
with
least
this,
he
so
got
it's
it for
not-
free,
it's not
though.
bad. That dude-
Technically, you got it for free, and then you gave it to him for free, but whatever.
well, now that we know you can get stuff for free, I'm going to go out everywhere. Where
There
else
you
can
go.
we go?
I know.
You're like, let's go to this bank. Let's see if they give us free
Take
money.
me to Westgate. I get you guys free drinks, free food, free car rides, free housing if you'd
Housing?
like.
I do
I'll
like I do like free drinks.
take housing.
I'll take those.
No, guys are very generous. They ask me if I want to stay the night. I'm like,
You're like, no,
nah.
but he does.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Oh, jeez.
So, just in case you guys haven't noticed, Ruben's here with me. You know who I am, hopefully. And we have Mystery Girl back with us.
Hello.
Are you prepared for the stalkers? Are you prepared
so
for the creepers?
prepared. Welcome,
every
my
time
friends.
you do this, you get
every
like
single time.
weirdos that text you like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
those
they
dick pics with
DM
like
me
dudes that
on
just like holding it
Instagram.
and just looking down on it, just trying to like flex while they're doing it. You know,
you
I know how you
know,
do. I know how you.
It's
how you
whatever.
Do. You're all like double click like.
No, because if I don't know them and
Heart
they
shape.
DM me, if they DM me and I don't know them, I'm not friends with them, their pictures don't show. It's blurred.
Well,
I
yeah,
do
that's
see
Instagram
skin
thing.
tone, so I know whether they're black or white.
You're like, I think that's him holding a pumpkin.
Yeah, I have to click like this may be an inappropriate image. Do you want to view? And I have to click like yes, I'm gonna view this image.
Yeah, like that looks
Sometimes I do because
that
it's
looks
kind
under
of fun
10.
to see
You're
what
like, wow.
surprises you have in your DM.
Quite impressive that girth
yeah.
you got there.
Yeah,
buddy.
that looks under 10.
But honestly,
Reject.
no. But
Heck, I need a solid 10.
yeah, but no. Honestly, though, when I go through my DMs, I literally have to delete all of them because they're just gross. Guys are gross. They just send weird shit.
Oh, this
and
one you have to put all 4 pictures together. Except
Dude, it's freaking hilarious though. Like, no girls ever do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girls don't do that.
No.
And they especially don't do it to complete strangers.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, when is the last time, Ruben, that you've ever gotten like a chick just spread eagle on your
Oh
DMs?
nah, never.
Exactly. That doesn't happen. That's a dude thing. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's like it's a dude thing primarily, and we've talked about this on the podcast a million times already, but I'm going to say it again. It's primarily because men are visual creatures,
Yes.
and they think that women are as well,
Yes.
and so they're like, yeah, she's going to like this
gonna
hand.
like
Oh, my
yep.
dick. 14 inches coming out my
Sports
hand.
stick. Yeah. No, but I'm telling you, if a guy slid in my DMs with some emotional connecting message,
Whatever.
I
Whatever.
may
That is
DM
sad.
him back.
That is sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well,
That's sad.
I'm just
like that dude
saying.
who sent you that one DM
He's
who
just
was just
like,
like, remember that one the one you laughed at, and you were like, maybe I should hit up this guy. It's the one where it was like a dresser or something, and it was like a picture of a dresser, and you were like,
Oh, are you like he sent me a fridge, he sent me a dryer, a dresser, a bed, a TV. He's like, "Hey, I'm just moving into your DMs. How about I get a date or something like that?"
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
gonna
like,
lie.
that was
No, no,
creative.
that's
Yeah.
smooth.
That
That's
That was
pretty
good.
smooth.
That was real good.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty smooth.
I was pretty
You
impressed.
should have
with that
sent
one.
him back a eagle emoji and be like, here you go. That's
Oh
all you get.
God.
That's pretty smooth. That's worth a laugh, and you know that's what works with girls. It's like
You're
that,
over there
that
like,
charming.
I gotta try that.
I almost steal that, bro. Thanks.
You're like, no, 18 inches. That
I'll
does-
give you
that's
his
just-
Instagram to thank him later.
I know.
That's funny.
No, I did in the podcast. That's good enough. Anyways, so I try not to have like formal topics, but I do have things to talk about. And so you have some things you want to bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some viewer
Topics.
questions.
I don't know,
Relationship
ideas.
advice, which
Yeah.
I fucking love. So y'all need to send those over to me ASAP. I am your relationship doctor along with Ruben. And so,
Doctor relation.
you know what I'm saying? So send those over. But we'll tease that till the later part of the podcast because, you know, we got to keep you guys here for an hour. Entertained at least, right? Because that's what you guys are doing, listening to this at work, hopefully. So, like, one thing I was thinking about was how there's a lot of gun talk, right? And I don't want to get super political, but there's a lot of gun talk. Hold on, don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes, because you're Miss Gun Girl, right? You're Miss Gun Girl.
Like, give me
Well,
all
don't
my
say
guns.
that.
You're Miss Gun Girl. You're
I
gadded
don't
up to
own
the
guns,
T. Like
no.
right now, I can see 4 guns on
I say
you.
right now.
Right now, it's like 4
Right
guns
now,
on
her
you.
DMs are filling up even more, just based on the
I am
guns.
100%. Let me just put my advertisement out there. 100% gun pro.
DMs are filled.
Pro gun.
Pro gun.
There you go. Good job.
Well, whatever. Anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
speaking of advertising, I want to talk about our sponsor today. All right.
Oh God, what is it?
And here's let me read the paper that they want us to read.
Sponsors.
Why you give me those shifty eyes?
That's the way
Yeah,
my eyes look.
Monday
Hustle.
Locker
Hustle.
Room Talk sponsors brought to you by.
There you go. So this week's sponsor is KY. KY. For those, let's face it, guys. All right. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Sometimes your girl and
You want
you
your dick
have
to
been.
feel
Hold on. Sometimes don't just berate the sponsor, okay? They're paying good money to be on this podcast.
Sorry.
So every once in a while, you and your girl been having a long day at work. You're tired, but you gotta keep that spark going.
Yes.
And sometimes it takes a little work to get it going, and that's why KY is
Baby,
there
I'm
for you.
tired.
You know what I'm saying? KY is there for you.
Baby, go get the KY.
So there you go. Today's sponsor is KY. Use our code. What's Monday's Locker Room Talk? So it's
MLT, baby.
MLT. No, you're not even doing it right. ML.
K day.
Monday's Locker Room. Oh, MLRT.
There you go.
Monday's Locker Room Talk.
There you go.
In case you couldn't tell, we all went to public school. It don't even matter the decade.
use what is it?
MLRT, baby.
In your checkout and get 10% off of all of your lubrication products. Once again, KY. Thanks again for sponsoring it.
Now I'm gonna throw KY under the bus.
Don't do that. They're the sponsor this
People
week.
don't want to feel burning when they have sex, aka STDs, yet they promote icy hot. So do you want like your dick to be on fire, kind of like you got gonorrhea or something like that?
It's a gentle warming sensation. It's not like a fucking I just put a heat lamp on my dick.
It's not like a welding torch.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
I don't know.
It's a
man.
soothing, warming
All right,
sensation.
Like, when
Come on, you gotta look at it from my point of view.
When you see
too.
Jon Snow, it feels like that one.
Oh shit! Well,
Okay, hold on, Miss Thing. If you go get a massage and they do like the warming oils or whatever,
warming oils.
this is the same shit. You don't complain about it then.
No, I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't hit up our
Dang
boys KY, and get yourself some 10%. What is that? 10-15%. One of those. Go out there and check out.
It'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise at checkout. Just go and buy.
MLRT.
Use that discount code at checkout. All right. Anyways. All right. So back to my totally unsexy talk. So we've been talking about gun controls and all that shit, and I still think this is like a complete mental issue problem. Mental issue problem.
I agree.
This is like a mental. What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
It's a mental issue.
It's a mental issue. It's not a
Yeah.
gun issue, right?
No.
But Ruben, I just showed you the video on what a bump stock is. Do you know what a bump stock?
I own a bump.
You own a bump
I
stock.
don't own a bump stock, but I may.
Your
know
purse just dropped on the
it's a
ground.
backpack.
This
So your
filthy
whole
purse
purse dropped.
Damn.
I may or may not
You didn't hear that.
own a bump stock.
I don't think you own a bump stock.
Stop dropping your whole backpack.
Here, put it on top of this.
Put your whole backpack.
Put it
Are
on top
you
of-
calling this backpack a hoe backpack?
Every girl has a whole backpack now.
Put that on top of that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know why I have a backpack? It's better for your what is
Wholeness?
this called?
Oh,
Proportion.
Wholeness?
So instead of
Not even
owning a purse and carrying it on my left side, then I'm gonna be adjusted to my left side, so my right side is gonna be higher than my left.
Better
like
for your wholeness. Yeah, I know. That's what I
My
said.
illness.
Well, no, it's like when dudes wear
Thanks.
their wallet in their back pocket. You still wear your wallet in your back pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
not
gonna
good
fuck
for
up your
you.
back. What ends up happening is that like, I have a buddy of mine that I used to work with that actually did that, and what ends up happening is because now you're instead of sitting neutrally, you're sitting at an angle all the time, and so
Actually,
shifting your
what
spine.
I started doing is because now I drive a lot. I just put it in my front pocket when
Yeah,
I'm driving.
you're better off doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it's easier for somebody to steal your shit from the back pocket.
And honestly, purses suck ass. I don't like purses. I won't carry
Hey,
a purse.
I'm not
'cause it
hating on
hurts
your
my
whole
shoulder.
backpack. I'm just saying, put your whole backpack right here where we can watch
Said
it.
it was a whole backpack. Like, how dare you?
Also, I think you also got to have a big ass bag with a lot of shit in there for it
I
to
do
shift.
have a lot of shit in my
Dude, you got like
bag.
3 things in there. No, that's fine. We don't need to go through your contents of your purse.
No, I said pick it up. It's heavy.
So,
I got a lot of change. And change from Mexico still in my bag.
why?
Don't say change
I
for
don't
Mexico.
know.
That Mexican's going to come back in here and try to steal it.
He's like, I'll take it.
funny.
Anyways, you don't have a bump stock.
I do have a bump stock.
What's a bump stock then?
A bump stock makes you fire rounds faster.
America.
Merca.
America.
Flying Eagle sound.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No.
So
yeah.
what's your idea? I just recently found out what it was.
Do you own a gun?
Yes.
You do.
So back to my point. Get off. Let's get back to my point. So
Is this recent?
why do you need a bump stock?
For fun. When
Okay, I
I'm
can see
out
that.
in the desert.
I could see that because it does look fun. But
It's fun.
I just found out what it was.
Click, 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 click. Like,
You just hold it and it goes
so
grrr. Yeah, yeah.
freaking fast. It's
Which-
so much fun.
Anyways, I'm not against bump stocks, but I thought it was just fascinating for me to see what it was because I totally misunderstood what it was.
Oh.
Like I thought it was just the what the fuck is that bracing called at the end of the rifles? The whatever, the part that goes on your shoulder.
Oh, like it's to cushion the blow.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was, but it's not
Oh.
what it is at all. So, but anyways, back to my gun thing. So did you guys hear about this guy who you all right there?
Yeah.
Did you hear about this guy? Like, there's always all kinds of talks about school shootings, right? But there's never a lot of discussion about when these same guns are used for safety. And so did you hear about the guy who, like, saved the guy? He's a gun, I think he's an instructor. And he actually, like, heard some girl yelling at his apartment or something. And he looked outside and, like, he just saw blood. And then he like, goes back into his house and decides to go for the AR-15.
Yes.
And then kind of goes in the house, and the guy apparently was stabbing some chick and had already stabbed her husband, I think. And he was just kind of like, the guy was going to run, and he was like,
Jealous
he's
side
like,
bae.
he was just like, put down the knife. And I guess the guy got, he put it down after he saw he had a gigantic fucking rifle. He never shot around. He never did anything. And this guy was extremely, like, trained. Like, this guy is extremely well versed in the gun. He would have probably clipped the guy. But it's just interesting how, like, those stories never are brought up. And like the reason and this is a very well-spoken guy, and you could tell he had a lot of experience with weaponry, and he basically said the reason why he reached for the AR versus his handgun was that the AR has more of an intimidation factor to it, so people are less likely to be like, oh no, I'll survive a bullet from this thing. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I thought that was just fascinating that he is so comfortable with the weaponry that he thought of that ahead of time and went with the AR versus going for his handgun, which I thought was fascinating. I think it brings up a lot of good discussions, right? Like if everybody was as trained and as skilled as this guy and is able to process things under high stress like that, like guns wouldn't really be an issue. Like the real issue is mental health. That's the word I'm looking for. Mental health.
I agree.
And the people that have the guns. I do think though that
I think they
backgrounds need to be way stricter.
I would say I agree with you, but I honestly believe that gun age to purchase a weapon should be raised way higher.
Yeah, you think
than
everything should be
18,
21?
21. I think even maybe 25, because your brain is not fully developed 100% scientifically until you're 25.
That's probably true.
It is true. Google
yeah, but
that
see,
shit.
I don't think brain development really is in question. I think it's almost like mental
but
maturity, right? Like how do you?
Yeah,
I would
mental
agree,
maturity.
but
yeah,
you're
25. Yeah.
I would agree. I would kind of agree with that. Just bringing it all to 25, and I almost think like we need to do like
but even then, background checks need to be stronger.
They need to be stronger.
I honestly think, like people who have had criminal past shouldn't be able to get one.
I agree.
Rapists shouldn't be able to get one. Anybody in the system, aka prison system, jail system, shouldn't be able to own a gun. And also, I think that the mental health, behavioral health institutes need to pass the information into the NRA to indicate who is not unstable.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, only because it's, if you had some sort of psychological issue, you want that spread out everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but if it's going to weapons and you're unstable and you have bipolar issues, you are suicidal.
I think what can happen is that you need to do like a blind version where if let's say you're a psychiatrist, I'm your patient, you could just say like a yes no, he'd be eligible for weaponry based on his thing, and without somebody already knowing what his background is. Like if I'm Joe Blow and I'm authorizing Ruben for a gun, like I don't need to know if Ruben has something. I just need to know if he's eligible to buy a gun.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this whole, like, everybody gets up in arms about getting rid of AR-15s, and I'm like, dude, no. No. We need to keep AR-15s.
Yeah.
I still think some Illuminati shit gonna happen.
And
I'm gonna need some AR-15s.
And you guys understand why we have the Second Amendment in place.
Yeah, because we
correct?
killed some white people across the sea that apparently were oppressing us. Not us, because I'm not from this country, but they're oppressing the people, and we had to take some guns and pop some holes in them.
So
made our own country.
I may disagree with you there. I don't know if it's the way you're explaining it, but I think
because Mel Gibson
killed
all those British people, and he won freedom for us.
That's right.
That's right. That's how it happened. Exactly.
You're so young, you don't even know that reference.
Yeah, I do. It's from Braveheart.
No. No. Braveheart? Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Anyways, moving on.
Try real hard to step back from
Leave
this.
me alone.
Fucking Braveheart? No, isn't that like
I gotta go walk away, contemplate my life.
That's Braveheart. It's like that's
Braveheart.
That's in Ireland.
Ireland. There we go.
I don't know. Okay, look.
How have you not seen The Patriot? That's an American
going back to the topic.
gold
No, the
movie.
Second Amendment is because we have the right to be able to have arms in hand, because if like the government turns on us, we have the right to defend ourselves. And I agree with that.
Right. No,
100%.
that's my only point.
People are so stupid, and not stupid. They're ignorant because history repeats itself. It kind of goes back to the whole Germany, Nazi, Hitler war, because nobody thought that one person could, turn a whole nation against a certain type of person, but it did.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody said boo about it, and it's so taboo.
Yeah.
So I honestly believe that we should be able to have our Second Amendment. I don't think that we need to put any restrictions on it other than raise the age. And I really think, honestly, truly, the behavioral health really needs to submit people's names, because honestly, there's a lot of stable people out there getting guns, and they don't have any right to do. See, it sounds so hypocritical, though.
I think it depends on what
but
your condition is and whether or not you should have one, right?
Yeah.
And the severity of the condition. But at the same time, like, let's also not beat around the bush. You're not taking an AR-15 to go hunting. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's call it for what it is. It's not. You're not going to go out there and you're like, oh, Ruben, let's take down this deer real quick. Yeah, come out with the AR-15 and put like 7 bullets in it. Like, that's not what they're for. And don't get me wrong. Like, you should have the right to want to buy one of those because you want one, because you want to go to the shooting range, you want to go down the desert. Like, if you want to have one for that, that's fine. But let's call it for what it is. Like, you're not taking that shit hunting. That's not a hunting rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's be fucking real honest with each other. Like, if I don't mind AR-15s. I like them. In fact, I've seen some really cool like use of them just like as this display pieces, like an art piece. I like them, but at the same time, let's be real honest. You're not going hunting with that shit.
No, but you know what? Okay, let's say you were back in the 1940s and the war was starting to break out with Hitler and all the Nazis. Wouldn't you want to have an AR-15 to protect yourself from?
I would have tried to get the fuck out that country right quick. You're not gonna do shit against the whole Nazi regime.
So you're a flight. You're not a fight.
You're not gonna fight the Nazi regime. You think this isn't a movie. Let's be realistic. I'm not against your viewpoints on guns, but I think you have this weird skew viewpoint of where you think you're gonna fight against a country. This isn't Die Hard. Like, you die in real life.
Thought you didn't know what Die Hard was.
No. You're talking about Braveheart.
Oh, shit.
Die Hard's a Mel Gibson movie where he just kills a whole bunch of people. and he never fucking dies.
Okay, what's Die Hard? I've never seen Die
Die
Hard.
Hard is where he literally just doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. That's how young you are. And all I'm saying is you're not gonna take down a country by yourself. You're not.
That's not my point. My
Because
point
you were
is
just
if
talking
you have
shit.
a
You're like, oh, you're
well, here's
fight
the
or
deal.
flight. I'm
No,
like, I'm not
here's
gonna
the
fight
deal.
against the Nazi regime. Let's be real honest.
Okay, and you know what? I claim ignorance on this because I grew up in San Francisco and Arizona, two complete different states. One's conservative, one's super liberal. I see both sides to the picture, but honestly, I agree with more of the conservative side. But this is just Arizona. Not everybody believes in Second Amendment. Some dude I watched cut his AR-15 in
I saw that.
pieces, and
I
I'm
saw
like,
that.
you are a dumbass, my friend. You're just asking for. Okay, it's kind of like one of the things, and I always say this too. It's like, okay, this is a gun-free zone. You think a criminal's going to be like, oh, this is a safe spot. I'll just go rob this. No, they're going to fucking go after gun-free zones. They're going to target those things.
Right. First of all, that dude that cut the AR-15, I'm like, damn, son, you just
He's
lost
a
out
dumbass.
$1,500. But secondly, his logic was also a bit flawed. He's like, I don't want this to be ever be used in a situation like that thing, right?
I mean, unless
Like,
he had thoughts about going
that's
and
what I'm
shooting
saying.
up a school.
He's
then-
the owner of the
then
gun, so why would
FBI
that
needs to
ever
look
be
into
used to
you.
kill somebody else? Unless for some reason he dies and thinks in the future somebody will use. Like, dude, your logic's a little flawed. But
Right.
long story short, I think that was a really interesting decision.
I'm totally sideswiping this conversation real quick because this totally ties into it. This Monday into Tuesday morning at about 1 a.m., I had police banging on my door, like saying like police, and they said the city that they were with, and I was like freaking out. My dog's like barking, like it was really scary. So I like crawled out of bed. I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not. So I'm like checking out the people, and I see like all the badges, all the lights are on. So I open up my door and I look out, and the cop's like shining his light at my face, and he's like, there's a guy trying to break into your house. Like, I just want to make sure you girls are okay, whatever.
You didn't hear this dude trying to
No,
break into your house?
I had no idea. I had no effing idea. Because I was like 1 a.m. I'm going to sleep. Like, I got to get up for work in the morning. So, of course, you don't want to.
Right.
You don't want to wake up. You're tired. And, like, so when he said that, I was kind of confused because you're disoriented because you just woke up and there's people banging on your door. So I had the door open. His flashlight's, like, shining in my face. And he's, like, telling me that somebody was trying to break in. Like, are you all right? Is anything going on in the house? Like, do we need to come in? I was like, you can come in. I opened the door up. I'm like, sure, come on. Sure, come on in. Like, whatever. My dog's, like, barking. I'm trying to hold him back or whatever. So there was, like, cop cars everywhere, and they were trying to come in. They were going through the house just to make sure nobody was in the house. It was just me and my mom or whatever. But it was scary. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we need to be able to have these things to protect ourselves, even because I had no idea that this was going on. But had I known, and my dog started barking, and it wasn't the police banging on my door, and it was the actual person, I have things all throughout my house. So I could have just grabbed one and popped a cap in his ass, kind of thing.
With that being said, I question your
It was
ability.
scary. It
I
was
question
so
your ability
scary.
to do so.
And I'm telling you, and here's the weird thing too, because they came to my door at 1. From 1 to 2, they left at 2. What?
They show you like a plastic badge. It's like me.
And they start stripping. That would be an amazing
Stop.
story.
Hell
Hell yeah. I'd be like, hello, sir.
How did they
No,
know that
officer,
someone was
please
trying to
don't.
break into your house?
I was gonna say, how'd they know?
How did they know someone was trying to break into your house?
Later on, I'm like, so what triggered this? Well, there was another like car that was broken into. It was a car that was broken into in a gated community that was close to my neighborhood. And so what the cops did was they just kind of ran through all the neighborhoods, and they saw a guy at my front door with tools and stuff. And so when they shined the light on him, he took off. I'm in a neighborhood that's really close to a getaway street. I guess that's the best way to say it. So he shined his light. The guy took off running.
The question is like, why do you go to your house? That's the real question.
Well, and here's the thing, sociopaths. Sociopaths are people that observe people, and if people observe where I live and what I do, I mean, I would think my house would be a target for a purpose.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say sociopaths. I think just people in general probably keep an eye, especially if you got like thieves or people who are,
I'm almost certain he was just walking and then
well,
they found him.
That's
It
another
was
point
scary.
that like if
I'm
you
just telling you, like I didn't realize it until later, but it was not good. It was scary.
Yeah, that's
But
another.
they came back. Oh, that was my whole purpose. They came back at 4 a.m. and they pounded on my door again. So like Tuesday morning, I got a wake up call at 1 and then a wake up call at 4. And when you get woken up that many times,
What'd they
you
say
get
at
so
4?
pissed. They just wanted to make sure everything was okay, and they're like, I just want to. It was some guy. And this is a guy that had pulled me over like a month previously. So when I answered the door, I shamelessly hung my head down low as I look at him. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Hi, good morning. It was so bad.
Well, he probably doesn't remember you.
No, probably not. But I
Yeah.
remember him. That was bad enough. But anyways, long story short, this is why it's important to have protection in the home, especially if you don't live with.
I will probably say though, like I think you, and I don't want you to get further into this, but I think there's another point that even with those guns, you need to be able to.
If I had them.
You need to be able to perform under that sort of pressure and be ready for that kind of thing, right?
Well,
I don't want to get into it because then it gets into a weird thing with your safety, and I'm not trying to get into that, not on a public podcast. But long story short, I think that there is something about owning a gun, but there's also a thing about being able to perform well with that gun. And I think that's another reason why I'm not for the idea of arming teachers. Because I can't imagine, I'm not confident enough saying that in high-stress situations where AR-15s are going off, they're trying to splatter kids, that the teachers are going to be in the right mindset to do what they have to do and use the weapons that they have. And
I agree.
I don't think that's the way to go. But
I think it would be smart to have more teachers that are equipped and mentally stable enough to handle those kind of things, though.
PTSD aside, I think there's somebody made a really good point at some place. I don't remember where I heard this, but they were saying how like it wouldn't be a bad idea to hire like retired vets to like work at schools like that, and for situations to happen, which is a good opportunity for retired vets. It's a good opportunity for schools to have somebody there that could defend the school, right? It's like a double-edged sword where you're giving them work, but at the same time you also have somebody who's skilled, hopefully, with the weaponry. But then you also got to take the factor of like PTSD and whether or not these people are mentally prepared to
handle that.
Yeah. And if this guy's got PTSD, he's got an AR with him, maybe he's going to be the problem at the end. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of discussion having that, but it wasn't a bad idea from my viewpoint. Anyways, we've been talking about guns for way too long. All your girls are like,
they're like,
shut the up about guns. Anyways, hey dude, did you try out that Tinder? Dude, what the we talked about this last week. You're supposed to get on that Tinder. You're supposed to give me an update this week on how your Tinder swipes are going.
Not good, I guess.
Can you talk to him?
Okay.
Can you talk to him?
Ruben, first off.
Can you tell him?
How would you feel if I created your Tinder for you and called out bae left and right?
Not good.
Really?
Really?
Dude.
Why? Wait. Can you talk to him?
Can
you talk to him, please? Can you talk to him, please?
I'm not going on there. I'm not going on there.
What is your deal? What's the problem?
I'm not gonna do it.
What's the problem?
No.
You're afraid of not being able to play your long game on
not going
via
on there.
swipes?
Not going on there.
Come on, dog.
Do you not like Tinder because of the
hookup factor?
Yeah. Like if that was taken out and you actually just went on a date with a person, not even like a date, but like just go to have food and eat.
It just seems really weird. I don't think you just...
You want the natural thing,
I just want the natural. Like
yeah.
when you find,
I met some girl at a store.
Yeah.
We bumped into each other and immediately fell in love.
Well, immediately. Well, we don't have to be immediately.
I guess a girl would. But
that's a girl. That's a girl viewpoint,
yeah. But, I don't think that.
You don't believe in Tinder?
No.
You know what? And I actually praise you for that because guys who have Tinder's dating profiles, kind of makes you like less valuable. No offense.
I better delete my profile. Hold on.
18-inch man rod.
Yeah, you should probably delete that.
Oh my!
not
Look
good.
me up as I'm not quick enough to come up with a name. Anyways, come on, dog, get to it. I think you should try this out just for the podcast, man. Just for
To
podcast.
promote, right?
No, not to promote. For the stories involved that will bring back to the podcast.
No, thank you.
Can you talk some sense into him, please?
You
No.
know, people want to do what they want to do. Just kind of like my friend.
This would have been a great segment for the podcast, like a weekly Ruben update on Tinder.
On his Tinder experience.
Yeah. Be like, hey, this
Ruben's
week I
Tinder
went out with this chick. We had some coffee. It was
2018.
fine. She seemed to have like some weird thing going on with her. I had to stop talking to her. Boom. Podcast, dog. Think about the podcast for once. You selfish.
But at the same
selfish
time,
dog.
I get where he's coming from because you live on the west side. You
you
will
want
start
to tell
to
people?
know
Want
it.
to tell people's address while you're at it? Want to give people his GPS while
What
you're
are you
at it?
talking about? Nobody knows what
Nothing.
state you live on.
Oh, I'm sure they
no,
can
we
figure
said-
it
we
out.
said it a
Yeah, we
bunch
said it
of
a
Yeah,
million times.
actually.
Probably know what we're
Yeah,
doing.
We're gonna have to
go
bleep
ahead.
some of
No,
these
I'm not
words
doing
out.
shit. Go ahead and give them your address,
right.
Ruben's
It
address.
Buy a
is
baseball stadium.
55501 North Phoenix. Just kidding.
It's like go ahead and give Ruben's what is it? Like graphical
Zip code.
coordinates.
He's
like
got area codes.
If you hit the Taco
got
Bell, you went too
hoes
far.
in different area codes.
codes in different area codes. I could be talking the west side because, whatever.
Yeah, good try. Once again,
God
trying
damn
to
it.
your step back skills aren't that great.
Dang it.
Ruben's like at coordinate 925.44.2. X axis is 400. Anyways,
Jeez.
so there goes that. Anyways,
I guess this kind of ties into I had a friend kind of ask me some questions.
Segue.
Dun, dun, dun. I need to have like those things that they do on radio where it's like a segment intro. It's like dun, 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 relationship advice. Pow.
That's funny.
Go ahead. So talk to your friend. So your friend has some
Yeah, so
relationship questions
She
for
had
us.
some. Yeah, she
to the right
was
place.
talking.
She came to the fucking right place.
We're gonna do it for free. Other
That-
people
They charge you.
would charge you.
No,
We're
not
gonna do
here.
it for free. We're gonna knock
We're
this
getting
out.
paid by
We're gonna
KY,
knock
baby.
this
You know
out.
what I'm saying? We got
We're gonna knock
this.
this out in about 28 minutes, give or take.
You're like
Yeah.
exactly 26 minutes 34 seconds starting now.
No, here's the
26
deal.
seconds now.
This girl, she's a avid
Damn it, that's a long text.
podcast listener. So she really supports you guys, and she really appreciates.
Appreciate
really
that.
support you.
Everything.
Much love.
Yeah,
you with my
so
face.
she always
What?
talks to me about you guys.
What'd you
Oh my
say?
god. Hey girl, if you're listening, Ruben's single. If you want to hit him up, I'll give you digits.
Oh,
Later.
give you GPS coordinates.
Give me my GPS card. If you hit the
I'll
Taco Bell,
upload
you
you
went too
later.
far. It's too far.
No, so
So talk to me.
basically,
What's your problem?
okay. So here's the deal. I'll go ahead and read what she sent in because this is something that she wanted to get advice from you guys, just kind of give like a guy's perspective
Right.
on everything.
Right.
So she said, her
Screw it in, we're
boyfriend.
serious.
Screwing it. I'm trying to get real
Oh,
deep in
oh,
these
snaps. So
topics here.
okay, so this is what she said. I'm gonna either reword it or I'll just kind of throw my own thing into it. Her boyfriend and her have been together for 4 years. He had cheated on her, but she agreed to work through it. She already forgave him. Her biggest complaints basically is she has what, in her own words, is she's like love bonded to this guy. He's a narcissist, in her own words. She loves everything else about him, but he has a shit ass personality, aka her own words.
Shit ass personality.
Yeah,
I don't know if
so-
I've heard that before.
4 years, and you're dating a guy that has a shit ass personality. Like, that would suck. Also, she has been kind of, I guess, emotionally cheating on him too. So it's kind of like a whole conglomerate of things. He cheated on her physically. She's emotionally cheating on him. He has a shit personality. She likes him. He's becoming less interested in her. So I guess to kind of summarize her, did I give a good idea of what's going on in that relationship? Basically, she
guess,
doesn't know
yeah.
how to get him to love her again, because I guess he's not loving her.
Her to love him? No, him to love her.
Him to love her,
Okay.
because he's becoming uninterested in her.
Okay.
Another thing is she doesn't know whether or not she should break this off, if it's like too late or if this is a relationship that they could save. And then if they do need to break it off, like, how does she deal with those emotions? Because the love chemical, oxytocin, is so strong that she's so bonded to him that she feels like she can't disconnect from this dude. She's 29, or I'm sorry, she's 28 and he's 29, about to be 30. So they're kind of in the later stages where I think marriage is probably being thrown around too. Girl, don't do it. Just kidding.
Suck at that.
Just kidding. But to kind of summarize her questions, she says, in quote, her own words, how do I break the love bonding chemical? Quote, why is he losing interest? How do I mind fuck him back into being interested in me? Bad. Should we break up? Probably. If we should break up, how should I deal with the breakup in a healthy, emotional manner? And then basically, like, just how to get over a breakup. Like, girl, you're 28, first off. Secondly, do you think it's fucked up
Betty
to
here.
love somebody else but dislike their personality? And that is hilarious. Do you think it's fucked up to love someone but dislike their personality?
All right, Doug, I'll let you go first.
All right.
ahead,
What
Ruben.
question we starting on?
Let's break it down.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's start with the easier one.
All right.
Should we break up?
First thing, you came to cheating. You came to the right person.
This guy's almost proud of his past.
Yes, you should probably break up. Seems like,
Why?
well, he cheated on you, obviously. I don't know why you would take him back.
People have,
It's
because
stupid. It's stupid. No. Don't. Stop. Stop. Your argument is invalid. Just stop.
okay, I will be the catalyst to this. How about that? I think she did the right thing and took him back because
I have a question.
sure.
I don't know if you'll know the answer to this. Did he cheat and she caught him, or did he cheat and he confessed
He confessed
without her knowing about it?
without her knowing.
That changes things a little bit. Okay.
Integrity.
I think if a guy confesses, a woman takes that a little bit more lightly, as in like, oh, he's first of all possibly could change. Secondly, he's realized what he's done wrong, and thirdly, it's like, oh man, like he's really like admitting to his faults, right? If you get caught, on the other hand, that's a woman who's like doesn't trust you. It's already gonna lead to a fucked up, twisted relationship, and staying in that relationship is gonna be toxic, because then in the back of your mind as a woman, you're always gonna be like, hey,
He's not gonna be faithful.
is he really lifting weights right now, or is he plowing some chick? You know what I mean? And then you get into that weird thing where chicks are like driving to see if your car's at a place. Then it gets really twisted.
Yeah, I
Do you know what I
see
mean?
how that is.
Are you laughing, dog? You know I'm right.
But you
You're
know
right.
what? And I'm going to intervene real quick because you disagree with me. I see your middle point, but I applaud her for taking this guy back because she saw his flaw. She forgave his flaw. I think forgiveness is harder for a person. To dump a person, turn around, leave them, and say, you know what? You cheated on me. Like, I hate you. It shows you're weak. I think you're weak.
It depends. You can't say
It
that.
depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation. Depends on the person. But also realize that women are emotional creatures. Women are creatures that sometimes will hold on to something for a very long time. And if you truly don't forgive somebody and you hold on to it forever and ever and ever in a relationship, that could be very toxic to the relationship.
I agree with that.
So that's kind of another reason why and you and I have had conversations about this, that like if you cheat on a relationship and you both agree, talk about it, however it's discussed, right? Let's say a dude cheats on a girl and he confesses, kind of like the situation. and you both honestly, within yourselves, honestly, truly honestly, are able to forgive each other and move forward, that could potentially be one of the strongest relationships,
I
more so
agree.
than a relationship that hasn't happened through. But that if of forgiveness and truly being honest with each other and being like, yo, man, I do forgive you and I think we should work this out. That's a motherfucker. And a lot of people can't do that. They'll say yes and they don't really believe in the yes. And in the back of the mind, it's always like, oh, is she cheating? Is he cheating? Whatever. And it turns into a big deal.
Right.
But I think if you both agree to learn from that mistake and you both agree to...
It takes you down like a different avenue too that you didn't think you would detour down, and then you're detoured and you're like, okay, this is what life has handed to us. And I think that's really, I don't know, I think it's really cool that she was able to do that. They were able to both connect, move on, and that was good. However,
But the question is, did she move on? Or is this other guy now that she's interested in also her way of payback? Because that's the catch-22, where women do it for payback.
Well, and I have to throw this out here because I did talk to her about this a little bit more in person, and it wasn't about payback. It was more like this guy enticed her personality-wise. So, and it's weird because I know this guy, so to see them together, I don't know, it just doesn't mix well, but I can understand why she likes his personality. He has a great personality. He's funny. He makes her laugh.
See, I told you last time, Ruben, funny is a way into a woman's pants. I mean heart.
I'm
Really?
the funniest dude you know.
Ruben's like, I'm a straight-up comedian.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
hilarious.
but and also, and like, I love this girl to death, and she doesn't care what I say, so I'm just gonna be
Well, it's
straightforward.
not like we're calling her by her name,
No.
Lucy.
No, but she listens to this podcast, so I'm sure she's gonna listen to Monday.
We gotta go back to questions. Way off topic.
So, anyways, I guess basically my next question would be,
They didn't actually answer the first question.
do I think they should break up? Yes, I do.
I
As a
do.
girl, I'm saying yes, because if a girl's already looking at another guy and being interested in another guy, it's for a reason. Secondly, if he has a shit-ass personality, he's so narcissistic, he only talks about himself, how fucking boring.
Well, that is why I said
boring.
they should break up, because you guys were saying, oh, well, he confessed that he cheated on her. But if he's a narcissist,
Yeah.
No, my point,
if he's a narcissist, that means he confessed for a reason.
my point was just a generality
I didn't
on
think of
cheating.
that one,
It wasn't
Ruben.
about this specific
Yeah,
thing.
like, I'm not a narcissist, but if I confess I did something, like,
You're doing it for personal gain.
there's
the
a
other
reason.
Or maybe
I'm
he's got
doing
a crazy amount of guilt. You know?
I didn't think of that either.
Yeah, that could be a guilt thing.
Nah, bro.
I just thought he was doing
Nah,
it out
bruh.
of good intention.
It's his plan.
Fucking people.
Plan ahead. Got to plan ahead.
Okay, I'll answer the first question last. Go. What's the next question?
Okay. Do you think it's fucked up to love somebody else, but to no. Sorry. Do you think it's fucked up to love someone but dislike their personality? AKA, is it fucked up that she loves her boyfriend but hates his personality?
It's kind of weird. How
Yes,
can you?
it is.
That was my exact point. How do
can
you do
love
that?
somebody but not like them?
I don't
You
think
know how? That dude is.
that dick game
that
must
dude
be on
is
point.
A1,
That dude must be
son.
dropping dong. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
Because she said
Listen, I'm not gonna sassify you like that. I'm just telling you right now. I can't. That dude's A1. I'm like B plus.
No, that
I'll
dude
put it
must
out
be
there.
dropping dong because
Yeah.
if she's saying that he is like, there's that love chemical.
Yes.
He must be just
Oxytocin.
going to town on it. And
You
so
know,
that's probably
and
why she's coming back for
I-
seconds. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
You know,
What is
girl,
like 12 plus?
it's been
What is up with you in sizes lately? You're like giving exact
it's been
sizes.
4 years. 4 or 5 years, however many years.
4
it's
years
been.
of just.
Hammering
and you
it
don't like
home.
his personality. I mean,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
you even say you pretend to laugh at his jokes.
Pretend to laugh at his
Pretend.
jokes. Ugh.
See, I'm
Balls
funny.
just shrunk.
I'm funny. John's funny.
And
We're funny people.
We're funny
and
people.
honestly,
You listen
I
to this
think,
podcast, aren't you?
That's right.
You don't like his personality. You pretend to laugh at his jokes, and you keep asking if you should break up with him. Obviously, all the signs point to just
It's just weird. Like
just
in
end
serious.
the relationship before it gets ugly.
Yeah, no, but
'cause
in
it's
serious,
gonna
all
get
seriousness,
ugly.
I
Does she
don't
live with
understand
them?
how you can.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong. It's always like, ugh, whenever you live with someone.
But
What's
like
the
in
next
all
question?
seriousness, like how can I don't understand how you can like.
I do question that. How do you care about somebody so much that has a shit personality? It's like being in love with like somebody who's toxic.
Well, and I have to tell you, women have a weird mindset where we're caretakers. We are emotional creatures. So yes, we
Maybe.
don't like you,
Oh,
but
maybe
trying to
you're
fix
trying
them.
to fix
She's
them.
trying to fix them.
we get no, that's not it. We get protection. We get love by having sex. It's a whole mental.
Yeah,
thing.
but you know, there's a lot of women who see something in a guy and be like, oh, I can fix that. That's the reason why girls
I
go for
never
bad
hear
boys
that.
and assume that. No. You don't have to hear it. But how many girls go after bad boys?
Yeah.
And they see the fucked up relationship that's going to turn into, but yet they're like, oh, he's going to change. Maybe they're not internally thinking I'm going to change him, but why would you go into a relationship that's already going to be fucked, knowing it's going to be fucked?
Movie, because I'm being 100% honest.
So I guess douchebags just get laid, don't really get laid in real life. I guess they just.
I think they're on a dry spell.
I think
from
they're
what I
all
heard.
just not getting any.
I think.
I
we're
think
on
that
the same-
asshole attitude is just the defense mechanism,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not getting any.
Yeah, but also on seriousness too. I've done the same thing too. I've been like, yeah, this is gonna end badly. This relationship's gonna end bad, but you're a bad girl. So let's see how.
Let's see how this plays out.
Let's see how this plays
You
out.
like the drama, though.
Yeah, but I love it. So.
Ruben wants to be the getaway car for the girl.
Oh yeah.
I love
That's
that.
my
yes,
favorite.
Ruben.
That is
yes.
my favorite Taylor Swift song. off
But
the
you
new
know
album,
what?
Getaway
You
Car.
would be
song?
no,
Yeah.
wait. You would be the drive away person.
Uh-huh.
You're loyal. You're
Huh?
loyal as fuck.
No, he's saying like the girl's committing the crime and he wants to be the getaway car.
Yeah, he's loyal. He's
Yeah,
determined.
because-
Oh, I got
to-
you. I
And
got
also
you. I
because
got
I'm
what you're
not
saying.
letting the
when they
woman drive.
fall.
The fuck is wrong with you?
He's there for them.
You had brownie points and then you just took them all the way right there.
Okay, so then the next thing
Drive to
she
a tree.
says is basically, and I'm gonna chirp in on this one. Oh boy, am I gonna chirp in on this one?
Driving to
She
the
said,
police station.
"How do I break this fucking love bonding chemical? How do I make it go away, girl?"
Stop doing meth.
First off,
That's random.
if you want to break up with him, and if all the signs are pointing to this guy's not the one, leave, block his number, delete him off everything, and just go somewhere else. And it's gonna take time.
Yeah, no, it's gonna
because
take time.
Honestly, it's probably one of the potentest chemicals out there. It's a drug. It's intoxicating. You're just gonna need to take time to make that go away.
Yeah,
But it will
like,
eventually.
when I broke up with my last girlfriend, I was emo for at least like a weekend.
Dude, you were emo for like a year.
I was salty.
No, you're still salty.
You're
I'm salty. I'm not emo. I was like emo for like the weekend.
You have a
I'm
podcast.
salty.
You have a podcast with Ruben about this, and he brings it up. By the end, you're like in some salt flats place, and you're walking and stepping on salt and shit. Coming back home, you just got more sodium in your body than normal.
Yeah, but like the girlfriend before that, no, I was emo for like 2 years. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna take time.
And I agree. It's gonna take time.
Get my emo playlist on Spotify. That shit's fire.
And if you decide to end the relationship, don't do the one night stand hookup like last bang out with the person, because it's just gonna complicate the relationship. You're just gonna be like, well, where does this leave us now? We just had sex and
That's
blah.
true, yeah,
Whatever
don't do
it was.
that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you just need to get away.
Yep. Get away. Shut it down. Stop
Take a
talking
nice,
to the person.
take a nice trip to I don't know, somewhere.
That's what I would do.
Go to the Renaissance Fair.
Ghost the hell out of them. Leave them.
What's the next question?
So the next one would be from this girl would be, how do I mindfuck him back to being interested in me? This
That
is
makes
if
my
you decide
balls
to
go into
go
my
the
stomach.
opposite way.
There's two, huh?
Yeah.
It's a little much.
Yeah, that's not.
Don't
This
do
is
that.
this is called playing games emotionally with a person, and I think this is toxic, and you're just gonna ruin the relationship yet again. You talk about breaking up; it's probably the best idea. Mind fucking a man, probably not a good idea.
Well, but you can't because he's a narcissist, so all he cares about is himself. So no
yeah,
matter
but
what
when
you do.
when you fluff a man and you're just giving him, feeding his ego, the homeboy is gonna turn around.
Well, he obviously doesn't already care, so.
And that's true.
So
you're just
anything-
basically going to fluff him just for his own selfishness,
Yeah,
and
like
then you're
nothing
still
you do
going
is
to
gonna
be
get
feeling
him
like you're
back.
not loved.
At this point.
I don't like that comment.
I don't really like that comment either. I don't think you should do anything.
That to me comes off like a let me trap a guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bad way of looking at it. I think
Like if you're trying to put a baby in yourself to get him for the next 18 years, don't do that. That's just terrible. That's what that sounds like, and don't do that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And I think if you're looking for a meaningful relationship, like that's not how you go about it.
I agree.
I think that's a that just I gotta get my balls back out my stomach. All right, what's the next question?
Yeah, but and it's just like, and I think the women need to hear these things because this is something that I hear all the time, and I think we learn these things from how guys treat us.
Look at your little salty face. Look at you see that?
I understand. That's her face all the time.
Snapping of
That's
the
her
wit.
face all the time when we're out anywhere. I don't know what you're talking
All
about.
right. Is there?
So you did have a face. I was just joking. You just did it. You're just like, what? No, I don't.
Who are you talking to, Ruben?
Shit. And wait, is that the last question?
No, there's more. So, the other one would be basically, and I'm going to chirp in on this one too. She says, how do I break up with, or how do I deal with a breakup in a healthy manner? And I think as women, we go into, well, fuck you both.
Why?
What? I didn't say anything.
We didn't say jack shit. Go into your spiel.
Go.
Come on. Jesus,
So-
man.
God.
Sensitive are we?
I am
A
sensitive
little
towards
bit.
this topic.
I guess.
I was going to
I'm
say.
a woman, I'm emotional. Look, I think exercise your little buns off. Exercise.
Yeah,
Positive
get it, girl.
endorphins is going to be the best thing for you. Second, don't do one night stands because that's going to ultimately leave you feeling like shit and you're just not going to like yourself. Third thing, don't turn to drugs and alcohol because you're just going to become addicted to either one of those things, and it's going to either A, get you fat, or B, make you look like a cracked out whore. And you don't want to do that. You want to do something that's beneficial, that's going to make you look good, feel good, and radiate healthiness. I say exercise, and honestly, feed your body what you need. And if you need to cry, don't hold it back. Just cry. If you're in your car and you feel it, just let it go, girl, because you'll feel better when you're done crying. And if you want to be mad, then be mad. Feel your emotions out. Only for a certain period of time. Then you're gonna have to get over it, because nobody wants a little bitch baby all the time. No offense.
What you got, dog?
No, I was going to say, yeah, it's going to be, troublesome for a little while. But I was going to say, just get blackout drunk for, like, the weekend.
The opposite.
And then, like Friday, Saturday, then just take Sunday to just recover.
Ruben, I'm totally bumping you on this and saying, no, don't get blackout
But
drunk.
look, just do it in your house. Don't go out to no club or
Yeah,
nothing.
but you're just band-aiding the problem.
No, listen. And then on Sunday,
it's gonna fix it.
Yeah, no, Sunday. Then you're like,
Please tell me.
fuck, that was a lot of alcohol I consumed. I almost nearly died.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, because you're like, well, that felt like
Hear
shit.
my sarcasm.
No, you're like, I felt like shit. But can't get worse than that. So then you just wake up Sunday, start getting back to normal,
Okay,
and just get back on that horse.
I need your opinion.
All right,
on
so here's
it.
my advice, and it's not great advice because I think as a woman you have different different responses to a breakup than a man does. Like a man can sometimes do dumb shit to help him somewhat cope. With that being said, you already are kind of interested in another guy. So if you do choose to break up with him, first of all, it's going to be difficult. You're never going to escape that difficulty. The awkwardness of moving out, the awkwardness of finding your own place, the awkwardness of picking up all your shit, the awkwardness of the text messages afterwards. None of that's ever avoidable. All right, it's going to happen. Now, with that said, keep busy. Don't do unhealthy shit like get drugged out and fucking drink a lot. But, dude, you're already thinking about dating some other dude. Why don't you go on a date? Why don't you go date people? Why don't you get out of the house and make friends and do new activities and shit like that? Now, keep in mind, that's after you have a small amount of time to, like, cope and think about things, because y'all get crazy
Girl,
too.
you don't
and
want to
just
get
us-
knocked up by some Joe Schmo that's broke ass.
Well,
that
at the
you
same
just
time,
met
why
at a
you
fuck
why you letting dudes
why,
cream pie
yeah,
you?
why you going wrong?
Why you letting dudes
Girls
pie
do
you?
Wow.
Oh, that's with next shirt. It's like a pie, and it's like
God.
Are you trying to plug during our serious?
yeah, man. Watch out for this
honestly,
Well,
I
apparel
think,
drop.
No,
And-
in
and-
seriousness though, like that's how I react to like breakups. I just stay in my room all weekend.
and
So-
you know, that's not healthy. I think, and
But that's how I do it. That's how different people have different reactions to
Everybody's
it.
got different. And
Well-
I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way.
Yeah,
I
there's
think it's
not
gonna
an
I think
easy
it's gonna
way. It
suck
just-
either way.
Yeah, it sucks either way. So like that's how I do it. I'm normally in there for not to say I don't come out. Like I come out. I like eat.
girl,
But,
you'll
like,
live. You'll live.
Yeah, and
If you
there's-
can make it through 4 years of a relationship with somebody that you barely like, that
Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean, the
really
only
like
thing
his
you're really gonna
personality.
miss is the A1 dick.
Yeah.
Girl.
Look,
There's probably
there's
other
no
A1 dick.
way to break up. It's gonna be difficult, and you have to go through some shit. But it's part of life, and you got to look at the opposite and realize that you want to be here another 4 years later. Do you want to be like in a relationship with this dude 4 years later? Do you want to have a kid and raise a kid with this guy? Like, you got to ask yourself these tough questions, and only
Yeah.
you can make those decisions.
I agree.
What's the next question?
But if you do end up breaking up with this person, honestly, call up your closest friends and have them come over that night. Like, don't be by yourself.
That's a good point.
Being lonely is not fun, especially if you have heartache, and then you're just going to text them and look like an ass, or you're going to call them crying looking like an ass, and
think
you
a
just
good-
embarrass yourself and look like a piece of shit. So
I think a good support system from like same-sex people always helps. Like if you have a whole bunch of girls come over and talk or whatever, if you have some dudes go out and they just want to drink and watch a fight or something, like it helps.
Okay, and the opposite side of this, if you want to fix a relationship and if you feel like he's losing the spark for you and you're losing the spark for him, then you're going to have to do some major ass communication. That's like the first thing. You need to tell him how you feel and where you see this point, and ask him where he's coming from. And if he is losing the spark, then yeah, you may need to consider breaking up. If he's not, then you're just making this all up in your head, which women kind of,
Can do.
Yeah.
Let's want to finish that
Yeah,
sentence.
so
I
did
don't
you
like
wanna-
saying that. And I know you asked if you want to try to keep that spark going, what should I do? Girl, there's plenty you could do
Oh
to
my
get
God, look
that
at
spark
freaking
going
eyes,
back
look at
up.
her
Face. All right, hold on.
I get
Before
all excited.
I know. Calm
I
down.
think
Calm down.
you humid out here all of a
Relax. Relax. All right. Jeez.
Wow.
I am relaxed.
Got hot at this late in the day. Jeez.
No, I'm just saying.
Relax.
I'm
Wind chill
relaxed.
factor out here. Just swim.
Ruben, why are you so hot and tender over there?
I don't know. It's like humid
So-
out here.
I think if you're looking to fix it, I think you got a lot of soul searching, and I think you got a lot of discussions between you and him, and talking about like, can we fix it? How do we fix it? And then the whole spark thing goes along with that. It's just like,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
man, your one dick was real A1, and now it's
Yes.
getting to like a B2 or whatever the fuck
girl.
next, whatever the next
Yes.
sauce is.
Yeah.
Now you're at a.
B2B.
Now you're at a.
No, D2B. Sorry. Yeah, D2B.
I don't know what these fucking acronyms they mean. I thought you meant like A1, like the steak sauce. I'm like, then you got to go back to like, Frank's
D2B.
Red Hot. You can't just say at the A1.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but-
saying?
Still D2B. You're welcome.
Anyways, so yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. If you're trying to fix it, then yeah, you're gonna have to sit down and really hash it out and be like, so
Guys are so logical.
listen, you're trying to do this, huh? Okay,
Okay, girl.
or you can pretty much have the conversation short and sweet. Be like, look, man, there's a door. If you can't hang with
There's
what
a door.
I'm telling you,
Damn.
get out.
So I guess I'll just kind of end this one with what I would do is basically this is what I would do. First off, if you want that spark back, communication and intention. Be intentional. If he's not being intentional with you, screw it. Be intentional with him. If he doesn't reciprocate, then that's on him. That's not on you. At least you're putting in your part. And do the things that you would want him to do to you. Not sexually intended, but I'm just saying, like, emotionally. If you want him to talk to you more, then talk to him more. Like, do things that you would want him to reciprocate back. And if it reciprocates back, then boom, there you go, problem solved.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then the relationship is. I'm sorry, dude. It's just not. It's not what is called for you.
Yeah, no.
With the sad ass depressing music in the background.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
But yeah, no. I mean, it's great, but you have to just start.
Okay.
But yeah, you just have to start talking. That's all it is. It has to.
Communication's
You have to
key.
just do that first thing
And
before
if your sex
everything.
life is on the fail verge, because
I'm thinking it's not, because she said she really doesn't like his personality but loves him. You know, maybe that might not be an issue, but
Yeah.
still, like, communication needs to be open.
Yeah.
So
So is that all the questions?
they need to
those
be.
are all the questions.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is my overall thoughts on it, all right? So, you relationship's complicated. Let's start off by saying that you got a lot of fucking soul searching to do and figure out whether or not, like, this is a dude you want to spend potentially the rest of your life with. You're 4 years in, you could be spending the rest of 4 years going to fly by again. So you got to ask yourself that question. You got to ask yourself also the question of, why is this other guy drawing your attention? If the other dude has a shit personality and the only reason you're talking to this guy is because he's got a better personality, then you probably already answered your question as to whether or not you should be with this guy. Like, the personality is not going to change. The whole expectation of guys changing, you got to assume they're not going to. The other thing you got to ask yourself is, you want like a clear answer of somebody being like, yes, break up, no break up. Look, the dude's not going to change. And honestly, it seems like you're leaning towards it already. You're just looking for somebody to kind of push you off the ledge.
Like validate.
And I think ultimately it is your decision. I think it doesn't sound like the healthiest situation. And I think you also got to question why you're deciding to talk to this other guy. Because if this is a revenge thing for like the thing you haven't let go of him cheating, that's a problem. And that's going to lead to more problems. And breakups aren't going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But you got, if you want to decide to do that, then no, you're going to deal with some hard shit. But that's life. You know, you always come out stronger from these situations, and you learn more about yourself and where you're at. And, you know, if you end up being single, my boy over here, Ruben, shout out, Ruben. Say what's up. There's something funny right now. There's something funny in here. I'll be like, what's up, girl? Come on.
What's up? I go down on you for 90 minutes.
She's like, sign me up.
She's like, let's go.
Or break up and just focus on yourself. I think the best therapy for a woman is to invest in yourself, because then, you know, when you're not even looking for a guy, he'll find you if you're wanting that.
Yeah, no, and the other thing you got to, like, seriousness again, I'm being serious. The other thing you got to remember, too, is, like, people don't change. Like, they grow up a bit, but they don't really change. So if you say he's a narcissist, so if you do plan on staying with them, so in another 4 years, he's still going to be a narcissist. Like,
Probably.
that's not going to change.
Yep.
And you're probably still going to have the same feelings you do now. Like, that's not going to change. Like, people don't change. Only the seasons do. Quote Fall Out Boy, drop mic.
You just blew out their eardrums. Yeah, I agree with most of that. Most of it. Ultimately, though, like, you got some big girl decisions to make, and you got to have to think about those. I think you're leaning towards breaking up with this guy, to be honest with you. And it doesn't seem like it's the best situation overall. If I was your friend and we're sitting down having this conversation, I would really question you on those things. And then based on your answers, I would give you a tip. And it seems like you're leaning towards breaking up with him. That's kind of...
I would highly agree with that one.
Um,
But you know, girl, and I know from our conversations privately too that you do love this guy, and I can understand. I mean, especially with all the crying and stuff, like the love bonding thing is gonna fade. Okay, you say you're in love with this guy, but you hate his personality.
Is that just dicking down?
Yeah.
Then
Guys don't understand this.
Then why is she trying to spice things up if the digging down's already good?
I think honestly.
Does she think that that's going to improve things? Is that what it is? Like
Is
in
she just
women's
trying to-
minds,
Maybe
they
he'll
think that's going to
want
fix
her
it?
to desire. I think
does she want the
girls-
emotional
no.
connection? Because it's just...
Yeah, I think
dick?
girls want to be desired. Like, we want to be chased. We want to be desired. We want to be, like,
Oh, that was the
They're
other point that I didn't make, is the fact that you said I think you said that she said that he wasn't trying anymore, right? Or he
was
wasn't
losing
interested.
interest. Yeah.
Then I think you also need to ask those questions to him. Be like, yo, I feel like this is happening. Is this true? Is this not true? And do we want to work towards that? And if you don't, if he doesn't want to put in work, he's whatever, then you got to make your decision on what's best for you. Yeah, it's a 50-50, right,
Yeah.
essentially. And you got to really ask yourself some tough questions and find out whether or not you're on the same page. And if you're not, you need to kind of go your own ways.
And girl, you're
And-
almost 30 years old.
oh, God,
Get your shit together.
here comes the woman thing. Where it's just like, oh no,
Because,
your
girl,
eggs are literally
Your
dry.
eggs
You have
are
3 left.
shriveling. I'm just kidding,
Those
girl. You know I'm
dinosaur
kidding.
bones deep in
I'm
you.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, for real.
Your eggs looking like
Everybody's got their own
Cell's
time
egg.
and everything. Oh my gosh.
Some DBZ references there. I gotta throw one out every week. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening. We're listening.
So I guess all in all, I really think you should just really take into some consideration, maybe even take a trip by yourself and just really think out through, like, weigh the pros and cons of this relationship. Is it edifying you? Is it not? Because
Edifying. Fuck. Let me get that dictionary out.
Say, what is
edifying?
that? I don't know what that word means, so I'm gonna take it as an insult.
And
Screw you.
And while
No,
you
it's
do
not.
that, and while
It's-
you do that, while you do her little tip here, you need to stop getting that dick for a while. Because
I
if that
agree.
dick is making you stupid, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be a real stupid
You're
girl
not gonna be
going
making
back
good
to that thing.
decisions. You
No.
need to think clearly here. That's my thoughts.
Yes. Yep. That dick and dumb brain girl. It gets us into some trouble, so you may want to.
Yeah, that bonding chemical is strong.
I think especially for women. I don't think guys have it as strong as we do. So you may.
Well, you guys are emotional creatures, so you guys
chill
are. It's
on
probably
that.
heightened. That cop hauling ass on my tax dollar.
It depends if we really like the guy or not.
All right. Any other questions? Any other?
That was all her
Viewer
questions.
questions?
Hopefully that answered and helped you.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, give you a different take on it.
This was a bit more serious than we usually get, dude. We're usually talking about dick and downs and spray downs and pie and Twinkies and stuff and candy canes and pillows shaped like. Anyways, we'll get past that. Anyways,
Hey man, we gotta
every once in a while,
be serious.
every once in a while we got an adult.
Gotta help people's serious issues, man. They got serious issues we're trying to fix.
I guess so. I like these. I think we should get more of these. Tell your girls we need more. I think they're afraid to email. Why should she
They
email
are.
me? Why?
I don't know.
Just
They're
Send
afraid
them-
of me having their emails?
I think it's because
I'm like, damn, Stephanie9442 at AOL.com
Says
apparently
how
has
big
a
is
question.
Too big.
no, I think it's because they like a female's perspective. You guys are two dudes.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why they're here for. The
having
jokes
it-
and then the seriousness afterwards. After we poke
I
fun at it
guess.
for a while.
Girls, email him.
Yeah, I got you know you're making bad decisions right now. Right now, you're on a date or something. No, that's probably you guys are listening during the week, so you're probably at work. You know you made some bad decisions like
at
the
the club right
past
now.
weekend.
This
This
past
past weekend,
weekend.
you guys
Yep.
made some
You
bad
let some
decisions.
dude go wrong.
Bad girls.
Some went down. You guys probably had a quickie outside the club. I know how it goes, dude. Every time, the people die here all the time. Apparently, are we in the ghetto?
Might be.
Wow.
Oh, good lord, that just killed my bit. That killed it. That killed my bit.
They're
it's
coming
over.
to rescue them hoes.
Yeah, go ahead. Drive slower through here. There goes that bit. All right, well, pretend like you laughed a little bit. Anyways, just, you know you're making bad decisions, or you made bad decisions, so send those over to me. Give me some details. Give me situations. We'll make fun of it for like 2 minutes, and then we'll seriously give you some good advice from a guy's standpoint.
Yeah. Just send them to her. She'll read them to us. She'll send them over to us.
Or if you want, no, I'm not going to give you people your email.
No.
Just send them to me, man. Calm down. Jeez. You don't have to send them to me on your Instagram where I know
just
who it is.
DM me if you know
If
me.
he's-
DM me.
If he's
the
too
prob-
aggressive, you can send them to me.
Ruben's
the
like-
nude picture.
No,
Send
I
those to
do-
Ruben.
I do think it's a little funny though that
What?
they just don't. I don't know. Like,
What, you're
girls
still
are-
laughing
I
at the-
think
the-
girls are so intimidating.
You're
because
still
you guys are
laughing?
so-
Oh. I thought you were laughing at the grip of dick pics you get at one time.
You're going to get more right now. You're gonna
Yeah.
Get more.
I will make sure to forward all dick pics
Nah,
to
I
motivated.
don't want none of that shit. Anything that you.
I don't want to see anything that's below 12 inches.
Ruben's like, I want to see
Ruben,
the best
no.
of the best.
When I type into CrogTube, I don't look for anything.
I don't know what Krog tube is.
Oh, bullshit.
I don't. What is
Bullshit.
Krog?
Now she's just trying to bullshit around. I know you know.
Croc.
She's got like a
I don't,
premium
I've never
membership.
Seen Krog tube.
It's like Pornhub, except raunchy.
I am aware of what pH is.
What? Anyways, yeah.
Why are you giving me elements off the periodic table?
What's your pH level? pH is what? pH. I mean, I sound ignorant as shit right now. What is pH?
Your pH level, like pH in
No,
your eyes.
pH in the.
He's got to look this up
I gotta
right
look,
now.
dude. How sad
Public
is this?
schools, I told you.
How
Wow.
sad is this, man? It
Arizona Education.
As fine as.
Please donate at ArizonaEducationDepartment.com.
Yeah.
I don't even
We'll take
know.
everything you got, please.
Just kidding. I guess it really doesn't matter what the pH is, right, Jonathan?
It's gonna bug me now. I'll look it up later and say it. Anyways. Yeah, send those over to me. I seriously think that I would love to have a segment every
Or
week
maybe
where
I
we
should
talk
just
about.
start my own podcast and be like
There you go.
relationship.
And then we're going to
help.
be on that because we need the money.
I think it'd be cool to have one of these segments every week. At least a small little like, hey man, do you think he's gonna call me back? And just blew the dude outside of Chick-fil-A. I'm like,
Dude,
well,
this stuff doesn't happen outside Chick-fil-A.
You don't think so?
It's a straight missionary
dude,
place. It's
we just had a
Christian place.
conversation 2 minutes ago when you're like, oh, you know about that place, and I was like, yeah, no, I've had sex at that place, and you're like, what? So yeah, man.
But that was
Everywhere,
Chick-fil-A.
everywhere is
Dude,
different.
Chick-fil-A is a good Christian establishment, isn't it?
Yeah.
They hate the gays, right?
Okay.
That's how Christian they are.
They don't. Really.
What do you mean they don't?
What do you mean they
Christians don't hate gays?
No.
don't? No, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A hates gays.
I don't believe that.
We're gonna pull up some news articles for you here in a little
Jesus
bit.
didn't hate gays.
I'm sorry,
We're
what?
Not, we're not talking
Jesus
about Jesus.
didn't
We're
hate
talking
gays.
about
What's on Chick-fil-A, first of all? We'll talk about this after the podcast. All I'm saying is send me your relationship questions and or bad decision
Just loves
questions.
everyone.
Send them to me. Email and Instagram's down below. I will not put any mystery girl shit out there because you guys are creepers on this. Y'all be sending her like 13 inches. And
Just know I publish all DMs online, so if you want to, go ahead.
she's got a
I don't
website
mind.
specifically where it's just
Yep,
like
sure
mystery
do.
girls dick pics, and it's like every day she uploads new ones that she gets, and it's just like, look at this one.
As big as
This is from profile name blah 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 blah.
big as this chair leg.
What are you into, dog?
Hey man, we get to page 43.
No.
You're running out of stuff?
It goes to page 99, by the way.
Why are you even on it
You're
that
on there too
long?
long, dog. You've broken your governor.
I
You've broken your governor, dog.
I pressed the one that's like skip 5, so it goes.
You've broken your governor, dog. Like the only thing you're getting off on
You
is
need
like
to go on
Kermit
a
taking some.
Porn cleanse. You need a porn cleanse, my friend.
Ruben's like so deep in the hole now. Like he's so desensitized. His governor's broken that like the only thing he's into is like Kermit the Frog, and it's just like some weird shit. It's just like why is Kermit the Frog going to town on Elmo? What the fuck?
That's
Anyways.
horrible.
Send me the questions. And once again, I just want to thank our sponsor, KY.
Don't need
for-
to thank them again.
I want to thank him again for sponsoring the
Don't need to.
podcast. And
One time was
if you want 10 to 15% off your order off the website, once again use code.
MLRT.
Thank you. And you'll get 10-15% off. You know, every once in a while, man, you need a little help. You're trying to spice things up. You're trying to keep things, nice and
There you
steamy
go,
and
girl.
stuff. And you're like,
KY,
babe, I'm
baby.
tired. You're like, look.
It's gonna make
the girl-
him fall madly in love with you.
Maybe a girl should be buying some. No, I'm just kidding.
Is there any way we can get her to say that on loop so we can just sell that for every podcast?
So every podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe if a sponsor pays us enough. Anyways, any last words, ladies and gents? Anything you want to leave these people with?
No.
It's bad enough today.
It's pretty
You need to
bad.
go home and get back
Yeah,
on that Kermit situation, Ruben. Ruben's like, I'm gonna go on search tonight.
I'm gonna go look it up.
I think what I have to say is to communicate with your peoples. Communication's key.
There you go. We'll see you guys next Monday. Once again, reminder, throwback podcasts every Monday and Thursday. So go to iTunes, search Monday's Locker Room Talk. You'll get some of those throwback podcasts until we catch up till now. So see you guys next Monday.